Welcome back. Rhino Page, the only member of the Dallas Strikers in that PBA League clash, goes 8 for 8, earning his team a place on the Stepladder Finals. Right now, JT Action Jackson is with Strikers owner Terrell Owens.
Thanks, guys. So, Terrell, what do you think of Rhino's performance?
Oh, I mean, the performance spoke for itself. I mean, he had to strike out to win.
It was a good pick, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's playing like the #1 pick as we drafted him. And so right now, I mean, it was down to with him and Chris Barnes. And again, you know, he bowled very, very well.
All right, thanks, Terrell.
Okay, the PBA League clash complete. Here is the full Stepladder. Dallas Strikers will now be taking on Billie Jean King's New York City WTT Kingpins in our first match. So 3 teams jousting to meet the top-seeded Philadelphia Hitmen. And Randy, when you had a first look at all of the PBA League teams, it was this Philadelphia team that really jumped out at you.
Yeah, myself, and I think if you ask every player in this competition, they'd all say the same as well. On paper, the Philadelphia Hitmen from top to bottom look like the team to beat, especially when you look at such bona fide superstars as Bill O'Neill and Mika Koivuniemi. From top to bottom, just solid. But I think one of the most intriguing teams in this competition is the Motown Muscle. And the reason why is because the way franchise player Mike Fagan drafted his team. He drafted players that had success in this building. Not superstars, but guys that got it done here at Thunderbolt. I think, just maybe, they may have enough mojo to take down the Hitmen from Philadelphia.
All right, Motown Mojo is what they need. We're ready to get this first match underway. Let's take a look at the rosters of the 2 teams. Dallas Strikers lineup will lead off with Brian Smith in the 1 hole. Franchise player Norm Duke, followed by Amleto Monticelli, Mike Machuga, Rhino Page, the anchorman for that team. For the New York City WTT Kingpins, John Zerbinski, a very underrated player. You look out for him. We'll lead it off. Jack Jurek, followed by Tommy Jones, Pete Weber, and Scott Norton.
The Dallas Strikers versus the New York City WTT Kingpins. Leading off with the Kingpins, John Zerbinski.
Zerbinski from North Tonawanda, New York, 24 years old, a grad of Wichita State. Chris Barnes is his bowling hero, also from Wichita State. This was a surprise pick for Pete Weber, even himself. Tommy Jones recommended Zerbinski, and he has proven himself to be a very strong bowler this week, and somehow manages the strike.
Not bad for John's first shot ever on television. I've watched that young man grow up. Watched him when he was a junior bowler. Boy, he's come a long way.
21 years on tour for Brian Smith. From Roseburg, Oregon, won PBA title, the 03 USBC Masters. And Smith matches Zerbinski strike for strike.
Yeah, no big surprise there. That guy's won a major championship out here on this tour. Brian Smith winning the Masters title.
So that brings up Jack Jurek for the New York City WTT Kingpins, owned by Billie Jean King. 2 titles. First frame, a strike for each team. The winner of this match moves on to face the Motown Muscle. Jurek finds his way to the strike zone.
How about Jackie Jurek? He went so long in between wins, and then he finally won his 2nd career title right here in this building.
Here's what they're competing for today. 12 points to the winner, 8 to 2nd, and down the line. The top 4 teams after 5 rounds of competition will make their way to Indianapolis in April to try and be the team that brings home the Elias Cup. Franchise player Norm Duke. He loves to hear that still after all these years, but he doesn't like to see that leave.
And it's interesting that Norm Duke is bowling in the 3 hole and not the anchor position for this team. Reason being, he doesn't have a very good look on this oil pattern. And we all saw what Rhino Page did in the clash portion of this event.
I don't like that ball. don't like that ball, do you?
Duke just said he didn't like that ball, so look for a ball change the next time he's up.
Tommy Jones now for the Kingpins, 34-year-old TJ. PBA Rookie of the Year, PBA Player of the Year past. 14 wins. Pete Weber leaned on him heavily during the draft. Is that going to come back enough? It does not.
And one of the toughest aspects of team bowling in a Baker format is the amount of time in between shots, and these players only get 2 shots with the exception of the anchor bowler who will finish the 10th frame. Hard sitting on the bench. These players are used to throwing shot after shot and bowling a lot.
A number of these guys do have team bowling in their background. Of course, they went to college or university, wherever they're from. Team bowling there. Jones cleans up.
Come on, pick me up. My bad. Pick me up. Pick me up.
Carmelo Monticelli now for the Dallas Strikers. Strikers down 9 early. Little high. Oh, wow. He's not on the Brooklyn team, right?
Hey, look, he's 51 years old. He's a Hall of Famer. He's got 19 wins. If he was on my team and he did that, I would say, you know what, Little? Don't worry about it.
All right, PDW, Pete Weber, franchise player for Billie Jean King's team. 36 PBA titles, 9 majors.
And Lon, again, like Norm Duke's team, the Dallas Strikers, you see that Pete Weber is not the anchor bowler for this team. It's going to be Scott Norton. And the reason is because in this competition during qualifying, Scott Norton averaged 242, by far the highest average of anybody on his team.
Norton is loving the lanes here in Allen Park, and a little 1-foot dance to avoid the foul for PDW against the spare.
I tell you what, for a 50-year-old, he's showing a lot of agility.
Boy, he keeps himself in shape. You know that. Mike Machuga. Chugs, 36 years old from Erie, Pennsylvania. Chugs, the 4th round draft pick of Norm Duke, 31st overall. Looking at that approach, these approaches are different from the main bay where they've been qualifying all week long.
Take a look at Mike Machuga as he kind of sticks a little bit. You see that heel kind of digging, even though his balance is perfect. But again, another ball on the right lane that goes almost Brooklyn. You know, we saw a lot of that in the clash portion of this event, where that right lane definitely blew out and blew apart, and ball started to hook a lot on that lane.
Natural wood approach here, synthetic in the main bay of lanes here at Thunderbolt.
Machuga also a big average throughout this competition, himself also averaging 242.
And now our first look at Scott Norton in this show, who has been very, very hot on the lanes here in Allen Park, and he is the anchor man. Neither one of the franchise players, as you mentioned, the anchor player, but you got to go with a hot hand, and Norton certainly has had it. And there he shows why.
Interesting, the 2 lefties anchoring these 2 teams as Scotty the Hottie steps up and throws 10 in the pit.
Rhino Page going 8 for 8 in a PBA League clash that you saw.
Oh, God.
No, he doesn't like this one, though. And you can see why.
4, 6, 7, 10. Split the big 4.
So the anchor man with the big 4.
And another player sticking on this right lane. Actually, that looked like he slipped. Pulling it right through the nose, leaving the big 4. This split only made once in the history of television or bowling on television.
I got 2.
So 2 out of 4, an open frame for the Dallas Strikers. And New York City WTT Kingpins up halfway through this match. Come on back to Allen Park. More exciting action. This is the PBA League.
Come on, guys, let's go.